concept on paper. But then, what is this CDF being used? It's a conduit of corruption. Kulibe constituency yamnamza indako, yamnaza muzanputi, no, even this CDF has worked in our best interest. Majority of Vantu, I'm not thinking Malon, it's a UPND cadres. And now the report is that the default rate is very high when it comes to these CDF monies that are being given to people. Because those that are getting UPND, they think it's their time to eat. They think it's time for them to be rewarded for having voted or indeed campaigned for UPND. They are not paying back this money. The default rate is very high. Now, this CDF is also a scam. It's a scam because Olokutiza and Ndarama per constituency. You would expect that it would work wonders. There should have been a very big difference from the 1.6 million kwacha that was going into a constituency to the over 30 million kwacha that is now going to the constituency. Now, let me tell you what they've done. Makambati Ndarama is in the CDF. Okay? You move money from the center, take ku constituency, or is in Ndarama in the CDF. But where is this money being spent from? It's going back to the center to be spent at the center. Why? Because Mkainda Pakanso house that no, you can't spend or do a contract that is more than 500,000 kwacha. So you give them 30 million kwacha, and you tell them you can't do any contract that is over 500,000 kwacha. So the money has to be expended back at the center. Central government will have to approve the contracts, all those things that the procurement process is not being done at local level. Yabwele Ramanjo central government. Is that what you call decentralization? Even when you have this money, it is just like saying, we are the four of us in the studio. Abanda, you are supposed to get 200 kwacha. Babalia, you're supposed to get 400 kwacha. Hamududu, you're supposed to get 400 kwacha. Then we change and say, okay, if 100 kwacha or 200 kwacha and everything, let us just give one person. Let us give Abanda. Abanda will give you 1,000 kwacha. Then when we come to you, we say, okay, you Abanda, give 400 kwacha to Hamududu and give 400 kwacha to Bazuru. What have we done? Nothing. What do I mean to say? Boma, mu constituency, is wakutimulima school. Is wakutimulima hospitals. And they used to fund these directly. That's what they used to do. Okay? So either way, the monies that are supposed to go in a constituency remain constant. It's the same. They were just funding these other places, the hospitals, the schools, they were funding them directly. Now what do? They get all these monies and say, okay, Azafaka part of CDF, Zaenda ku council. When this money goes to the council, but okay, manje mwa council pelekani Ndarama ku hospital ku, pelekani Ndarama ku schools.
Are we safe to say that this government, the Upnd administration, has completely failed, and we have nothing really to point at to say at least on this score they've scored, or we are better off as a country now because they boast of the debt restructuring and a lot more, the CDF and all these other things? Are we in a state where we're supposed to say they've completely failed?
Just to add on, if you were in power, what could you have done differently as you respond to him?
To this date, after announcing, calling teachers to come to the airport to dance for the president and tell the president we are happy you have restructured the debt in 2022, to this date, the debt has not been restructured fully. It has been a song that has been sung by this government, trying to repeat it over and over and over again to look at that as a success, when in fact not. They haven't succeeded in any way. What's in the news now? What's in the news is that the IMF has said that whatever debt that they want to contract now, they'll move it until after the elections. The IMF has downgraded our outlook, economic outlook, to say the growth has dropped from 6.4. They project that it will be at 5.5. If we are doing so well, why are we being downgraded? Is that doing well? So there is the propaganda by the government and the reality on the ground. And how you measure reality on the ground as regards how the government is doing is not these funny figures that they throw around in the air. It is in one word: affordability. Can an average Zambian say that life is much more affordable? Can an average Zambian say that? Those that are renting houses, the rentals are ever going up, but government is not doing anything as regards improving the conditions of service. You add 700 kwacha as an increment to one's salary when the cost of fuel has gone up, the cost of meal has gone up, the cost of cooking oil has gone up, the cost of rent has gone up, the cost of transport has gone up. Everything has gone up. And then you expect Zambians to believe that you're doing so well because you are drawing a graph, because you are saying we have pledges to this extent, pledges that don't even put food on the table, pledges that are never even realized at all. So a pledge is simply that, and is not an indication of economic growth. But this government is so naive to think that a pledge amounts to economic growth. The very fact that those pledges are not met means that the trust in your financial systems, or at least in your economy, has dwindled. People don't really trust so much to invest in it. You borrow locally and you're not able to pay. You tell the Zambian people, we have so much in our reserves. And then you wonder, okay, fine, if you are saying you've got $5 billion in the reserves, where is this money coming from? What have you done so that you're able to keep this money? Because my common sense is telling me that if you go to the hospital, you must be able to find medicines. Right now, hospitals don't have medicines, meaning why is government holding on to that money when they ought to be buying medicines that are in the hospital? The Cancer Diseases Hospital here in Lusaka is not a place where cancer is being treated. It has become a place where people go to die because there's nothing that the Cancer Diseases Hospital is doing for these people. All those that have been diagnosed with cancer, and government is kind enough, they take them to Tanzania. Why are we taking people to Tanzania when we built a facility that we can fully equip and treat our people? Why are we letting people die? Why is government killing people? Because if you don't take care of the infrastructure that has been built, infrastructure that you found, to ensure that you repair, make sure that surgical gloves are there, make sure that surgical implements instruments are there, make sure that the medicines are there. If you don't ensure that you do that, and you are praising yourself on one end and say, we have so much in our reserves, you are merely failing the Zambian people. You are trying to manage the economy based on how much dollars you are able to keep so that the rate is down, and you stop spending, you stop making money available in the economy, and people are saying, we need these essential services, spend the money. Government is not a profit-making organization. We need to respond to the social needs of the people. We need to respond to the health needs of the people, educational needs of the people. The youths out there want jobs. Where are we putting our attention so that we can grow jobs for the youths, the women? We can ensure that our hospitals are fully equipped. We can make sure that the free education that we're giving to children in our schools is actually quality education. You can't sit and lament and say the lowest and poorest performing students in the country is Western Province or indeed Wapula Province. You need to interrogate and say, why is it that we have people that are not delivering, or why is it that children are performing badly? You will discover that most teachers that are there are untrained teachers, because you are not sending teachers to those schools that are out there. And where there are teachers, the classes are over bloated and the teacher can't concentrate on all of them. All these issues are issues that you ought to be responding to.
Going by the question by my colleague,
Yes.
how best were you going to handle these issues that you've mentioned, Mr. President?
And that is exactly what I'm saying, that all these are the issues that you ought to be responding to. You ought to have a look at a country, put the country under a microscope, say, what do the youths want? In this particular case, we are saying that we need to create employment. And creation of employment must be sector driven. Where do we have the most needs? We have a very good example. Why would you go and say, okay, you artisanal miners, get out of this area. You should not be in this area. We are looking for some people with money to come and invest in this. You want to reduce your citizens to being employees, to foreign conglomerates. Why don't we say, let us structure you in a way that you are able to mine in a safe environment, you are able to mine in a sustainable way. We will support you, we'll give you the implements that you need to use, we will buy from you, we'll provide a market for you. But we want you to mine in a safe environment, and we are going to provide that service. The mine safety department is going to come in to say, okay, this is how you mine in a safe environment. We will allow you to mine, but we'll also provide the market for you. That is the approach that we should be taking. We had an opportunity, a very golden opportunity, where we got Mopani Mine. Mopani Mine was to be a Zambian mine. Now, what does this government do? They call their friends to come and get the mine, to come and buy the shares in the mine. And after they buy the shares, the money doesn't come to our coffers. They say, we're going to use this money to run the mine. You essentially have not benefited from it. And the companies that are buying are those whose directors or indeed whose members are close friends to the president. That you don't do, because that is taking away the credibility or indeed the trustworthiness that people ought to have in you, that you do what is in the best interest of the country.
We shall repeal repressive and oppressive legislations, including the Cybersecurity and Cybercrimes Act, which has been shamefully weaponized against the people it was meant to protect. Freedom of expression and assembly are not privileges to be guaranteed by a government. They are God-given rights which no law should ever suppress. Our government, your government, will restore respect for the church, civil society, family values, and the media, acknowledging them not as adversaries, but as partners in truth and nation building. The politics of vengeance and retribution will have no place in the Zambia we are building together. We envision a Zambia where the energies of our youth are unleashed through opportunity, innovation, and enterprise. We shall create a climate where businesses can flourish freely, where entrepreneurship is celebrated rather than stifled, and where the pursuit of prosperity is not hindered by corruption or favoritism. In this land of work and joy, we shall create jobs for our youth through industrialization. We shall also ensure that Zambia's natural resources and energy serve our people first. No longer shall our industries be starved while others thrive at our expense. Our energy, our minerals, and our agriculture will fuel Zambian progress and dignity. Our administration will restore international respect for our beloved country. We will rebuild relations torn by arrogance and neglect, anchoring our diplomacy in mutual respect and beneficial cooperation. Every partnership we forge globally shall aim at uplifting the lives of Zambians, not enriching a privileged few. We will work tirelessly to achieve national food security, reduce the cost of living, and revitalize traditional exports that once defined our economic identity. Agriculture, mining, tourism, and technology will become the pillars of a renewed national economy.